Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host, LovelyCheesePizza here, and welcome back to Let's Play some more I almost said Grand Theft Auto. I have done that so many times throughout the course of my career playing Gran Turismo games. I almost always, at least like 10 or 20 times, call it Grand Theft Auto. That's not a good look. So, we're back playing more Gran Turismo 3, the Ultimate Driving Simulator, and last time, if I remember right, yeah, we did the Deep Forest 2. And that was nuts. It was actually like one of the best just races that we've done in a really long time. It was really challenging the whole way through, and even though we got a giant lead at the very end, we totally almost blew it because rubber banding and stuff. So I don't know whether to do Rome Circuit because I haven't done it in a long time, or to do this one, which is more difficult, and I also haven't done it in a really long time. Oh God, I'm gonna do this one. I might regret it, but we're gonna do it anyways. Here's to hoping we get first place. I'm gonna use some Body Armor Light Watermelon Juice as my luck charm of the day. So hopefully, I got my fingers crossed here that we're gonna have enough raw power in certain areas that's just gonna kind of propel us through the fact that I am traditionally terrible. Like, I am just classically not good at this track. That's just the way that it has always been. I kind of don't know. That's right. We totally drove in FPS mode last time. I don't know whether to drive that way or not going forward, because we actually did pretty well this way, but we don't have like an inherent need for it because just the perspective at which we're driving doesn't really necessarily call for it. So yeah, I'm kind of at a loss here on whether to do that. Okay, I'm trying to remember this track in general. Like I know that this turn is coming up. The crazy kind of mega hairpin series up here is coming up. Those are the ones that I really don't like. I don't remember how to judge when to do it. There we go. Well, that'll help a little bit. All right, we're going to be using a lot of seedy tactics to get what we want here. But as long as it works, I don't really care whose ankles I got to bust and whose gas tank I got to puncture with a blow dart on the way by in order to achieve the ultimate goal. So I did something last week that I have never done before. I've been able to escape it for my entire life, for just major strokes of luck and what have you, but I finally could not avoid it any longer, and I had to fulfill my civic duty, and I had to do jury duty, which going into it, I was just like, God, dude, I gotta wake up at like 6 in the morning, and I gotta be at the courthouse by like 7:30, and then I'm gonna end up going there, and they're gonna dismiss it anyways, and then it'll have been a waste of my time waking up like 3 hours earlier than I normally do. But I called the hotline number the night before, like you're supposed to. You call at 5 p.m. and they say, this all cases have been adjourned, or the people that are supposed to report, jurors, 45 through 75 or whatever. Because usually whenever they call it, like, it's not very many people. Like every time it's like, oh, I'm juror number 138, and they're like, all right, well, jurors 27 through 50. Please report, tomorrow morning. So it's like, okay, well, I guess that's not really going to be a very big deal. But when I called, I was juror 17, and they're like, okay, well, we need jurors 1 through 142, and I'm just like, oh my God, why do they need so many people? Why are there so many people breaking the law right now? And so I ended up having to go deal with that. And I swear to God, like, if you actually end up serving on the panel, it's literally like a 6 a.m. to like 6 p.m. joint. Like, it's literally longer than the average person's full day at work. It's terrible. And it takes like literally like 4 hours before you even know whether you're actually serving or not. Because you go in there and you go and you have to fill out paperwork, and you have to sit in this little tiny room. You know, now that it's socially distanced and what have you, but you have to go and you just have to sit in there, and you fill out the paperwork, but you have to wait for everybody to come in, and they all have to do it, and then you just kind of sit, just not talking to anybody, just for like a good half an hour, and then they do this little orientation video, you know, trying to get you jazzed up about the fact that you're serving your community and all this stuff. And then you watch an instructional video about the general process of how it works. And then they eventually, in a normal setting, you know, you'd have a full jurors panel. They'd send everybody in all at once, and then they kind of give. I didn't know this is how this worked. I did not know that the process of having a jury selected is like they take everybody into the room, and then both the prosecution and defense attorneys like they just interview the potential jurors, and depending on the way that you answer questions and stuff, and like your demeanor and certain things, they and the judge will go deliberate, and they'll just like select, like hand-pick jurors. I did not know that's how that worked. I thought that you just like the people that report are just the people that are there, and you know, based off of some things, they'll dismiss some people, but I didn't know that's how that process worked. And then, you know, the ones that they handpick are the ones that will actually serve on the case, and then you just go from there. But it was nuts. And so, but because it was, you know, because of COVID, they had to bring them in multiple groups of people, and they had to ask every group the same questions, and it took so long. Like, between the time that I initially got there and the time that they made the choice on who was going to be on the jury for the case, it took like 5 hours. It took so long. It was awful. I ultimately did not get picked, but it was kind of nuts, dude. Like I was kind of bummed out when I didn't get picked, because it was like an actual criminal case. Like it wasn't just like, you know, something small. Like it was an actual like domestic violence criminal level case, and it was like, holy shit, dude, like this is kind of nuts. Like I get to, if I were on this thing, I'd be deciding somebody's fate about, you know, whether they're, you know, gonna be going to prison or not. Like it's kind of nuts. It's actually really fascinating. Like once you kind of get in there and get into the swing of things, it all of a sudden, like, it becomes really important, and it's kind of cool. But now that I, you know, got dismissed, I don't have to serve, you know, potentially for another 2 years. So, yeah, so I mean, it was kind of interesting at the very least. So I know a couple people that have actually like gone through the full process and were actually selected to be on the panel, and they ended up doing the full deal. Like it's, you actually, and you get paid for it too, which is kind of cool. Like they actually reimburse you for people that are missing out on work, or for people that are like full-time students or whatever. Like they actually will reimburse you money for having, you know, taken the entire day out of your life to go do that kind of stuff. So kind of nifty. Have any of you guys ever served on jury duty before? Do you have any interesting stories about that? Like I know that you're not supposed to like talk about it when you're in it per se, if it's like a grand jury thing and you're on for like a couple of weeks or whatever, but I mean, I think as long as you're not giving out names of people, you can kind of vaguely describe your experience with it. It'd be kind of cool. Oh, another crazy thing that happened. I think this was like a couple weeks ago. So I was over at the apartment visiting the kids and stuff. And while I was over there, I was getting Harrison to sleep because he was having a kind of a rough night. And while I'm putting him to bed, I hear just like this really loud thud, and I couldn't really like discern what it was right away because the weather was really, really bad. But I just decided to go like investigate it afterwards, and upon further investigation, I went and opened up the front door and looked down the stairs because it sounded like something had fallen down the stairs, which kind of caught my attention. I was like, what was that? Like somebody like dropped a couch down the stairs or something? And I went and opened the door and looked down the stairs, and the neighbor that lives next door, she's an older lady, she had fallen down the stairs, and I'm just like, holy shit. Like, this is bad, because she was just laying there, and it's like, had I not heard that, how long would it have been before somebody noticed? Because it was nighttime. Like, it was, you know, about 9 o'clock at night. And I don't think that there was anybody home, like, there with her in her apartment. So it's like, had I not noticed that, how long would she have laid down there? And so I'm just like, holy shit. So I went down there and you know, ran down to her and was, you know, talking to her, made sure she was okay. And, you know, asked her if I needed to call an ambulance and if you know, any of that was necessary, and she said no. She's like, I'm okay. I just, you know, I have a bloody nose. And just kind of whacked myself. I was just trying to go downstairs to do something. I don't remember what it was, but she's like, I slipped going down the stairs and couldn't grab the railing, and I fell. And I was just like, holy shit. Okay, so I helped her get back up, and, you know, helped her back up the stairs into her apartment, and, you know, she ended up being okay. But it's like, holy smokes, dude. Like, had I not been there, or had I not heard that noise, like, she could have been there potentially for hours upon hours upon hours on end, which could have ended up being a real medical crisis after that. Because, you know, people that you see those types of things in, you know, like medical shows and commercials and stuff for other, like, medical services, where people will fall and they'll, like, break their hip or whatever, and they'll just lay there for hours, and some people end up dying that way. I guess it's kind of nuts. So it's like, I'm glad that didn't end up being a serious situation, because that could have been really, really bad. Speaking of really, really bad, we are murking the competition right now. I did not anticipate this at all. I really thought we were going to be, like, you know, fighting for our lives from basically the very get-go, but we're kind of doing really legit right now. You hurt yourself? What happened, buddy?
I just hurt my toe and did
You hurt your toe?
Yeah, because...
Well, what were you doing, buddy?
I was trying to play and came out of the living room, and then I dropped the gun, and then it hurt my toe.
Oh, did you drop the Nerf gun on your toe? Ouch, dude. Well, are you okay? Do I need to cut your toe off? Okay, well, I wasn't going to anyways, but just in case you wanted me to, the option was on the table, so I'm glad you took the high road on that. You want to watch, dude? Okay, well, you can stay in and watch for right now. Alright. Yeah, we're hanging in there right now. The only thing that I worry about is when our tires start to wear down a lot more, because I don't know if we're necessarily going to make it all the way through this race. We're starting to get a little dark on the yellow there. Okay. It's going to be... Ooh, we almost had all threes on that split. I kind of worry about the condition of our tires going through those last few laps, because they're starting to get a little orange, and that makes me worry just a little bit. Oh boy, okay. Oh boy. Like, the way I'm kind of gauging it is, I'm gauging it off of the guy behind me. Like, if he ends up hitting the pits, then I'll do it on the following lap. But otherwise, I might just try to power through. Like, we're doing well enough, and we're not losing any time on our splits here. I think it might actually be a good enough idea to just keep going this way. Because there's really only like 2 or 3 turns that are really going to stress out our tires in any amount. And it's this one right here, and then the 2 mega hairpin joints are really the only ones that are going to potentially cause a problem. Otherwise, it's not so bad. Okay, I'm starting to tighten up a little bit, because I don't want to have to do this race again if I don't have to. What'd you find, buddy? Okay. Oh, okay. We added a full second on that split. That's good. That's legit. By the way, another thing that I want to mention, just because I've been playing it a little bit recently, I got around to downloading the beta for Halo Infinite, and oh my god, that game is absolutely wonderful. Like, I haven't played a Halo in a really long time. Like, I think the last time that I realistically played it, like in any serious capacity, was probably like Halo 4, I think, or like Reach or whatever. Like, it's been a long time. Cause I kind of got away from it for a little bit. Like, 2 was my favorite of all time, and I really loved 3. But I don't know, I kind of started to get away from it after a little bit. But then when I heard that Infinite was coming back out, and I saw you know, some screenshots and a little bit of you know, trailers from it and what have you, and it looked really interesting. And a couple friends of mine had downloaded it, and they had asked me whether I'd gotten into it or not, and I was like, I haven't played it yet, but I've been considering downloading it. They're like, you need to. It's unbelievable. And so it's like, okay, well, you know what? I'll break down and do it. I'll see what it's all about. And so I downloaded it the other night, and I started playing it, and it blew me away. Like it's so good. Like visually, it's striking. It's unreal how good it looks these days. Obviously, I mean, you know, we got like next-gen consoles, and PCs can handle pretty much anything. You can call in a freaking airstrike on your own head if you wanted to. Oh, he took the pit. Oh, yes. Okay. Here's the thing. Should we just keep going? I mean, we already had a plus 7-second lead going into the lap. I think we just go for it. I don't think there's any possible way that our tires are in such bad a shape that he's gonna, you know, make up 17 seconds worth of space. You know what I mean? But yeah, dude, like visually, it's such a crisp, smooth, just it's beautiful. Like on all accounts, like everything just looks great. Like I really like the new maps that they've implemented. They look really good. Like they're open enough, but they're also like the areas where they design it to be, you know, kind of closed in for close combat. Also looks really good. And I like how smooth the gameplay is. Like it's not like the characters control really fluid. Even with what are you doing, dude? Are you gonna listen in too? Okay. Well, I think those headphones might be a little bit big for your head there, buddy. Okay. Well, go ahead and sit down. I don't want you to hurt yourself again. But just the players, like the characters, handle really well, and I kind of like the cool upgrade system that they have in place. I haven't leveled up enough to be able to do any of that yet. I've only played just a handful of games, but it felt like it was really weird. I was super rusty coming out the gate, obviously, and so my first couple matches were pretty rough, but then I kind of got that confidence boost. I played a couple matches of Slayer, and I had like a 17-7 game, and I ended up having I had a 25-2 game. Hey, dude, you look like you're ready to film.
I want to film.
Hey, no, don't touch the controller, not while I'm driving. But yeah, I had like a 25-3 game. Like I went nuts, and it's like I'm back a little bit. I didn't have any games that were close to that after that, but yeah. Then I played a couple matches of Oddball, which I loved Oddball. I always thought that was kind of cool, and like King of the Hill was really cool. But we had this one match of Oddball where my team ended up winning. They won 2 out of 3 rounds, but it was close. And the third round to win the whole thing came down to the last like 3 points. It was nuts. Like we took a commanding lead, and we were ahead like 94 to like 47, and we're like, so it's like we're almost done. We only need just a few more seconds of controlling the ball. Oh yeah? We only needed just a few more seconds of controlling the ball, but they got the ball, and they were able to get all 4 of their players surrounding the carrier, and you know, they were just staving us off, and they were racking up points, and it started getting a little testy, and I'm just like, oh no, we're gonna blow this thing and lose. And so it got down to it, and it was 97-90, and it was me and one other guy that went and got this guy cornered in the back room, and he went and distracted the guy and was shooting at him, and I had come around the other entrance, and it was just him in there because we'd wiped the room almost, and I ran up behind him and I assassinated him with the machine gun. He dropped the ball. I immediately picked up the ball and went and ran into a little corner, and right as it ticked to 100, they had a couple guys that came in and shot me immediately in the head with the battle rifle, but we had just won the match. It was so rad. Oh, man.
I want to film.
Oh, you do, huh?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Yeah, you're You're gonna be a gamer in the making, dude. This freaking guy right here. He's 3 years old, and he's been playing on my Nintendo DS lately. He's been playing Game Boy Advance. He was playing the Super Mario Advance 2, I think it was, the one that's the Super Mario 3 port from Super Mario All-Stars or whatever. And this dude's been slaying it, man. Like, he's really, like, he's still learning the mechanics of playing, obviously, but like, he's fully cognizant of what it is that he needs to do. I didn't mean to do the car wash. I meant to do the, hey, hold on, bud. I meant to do the oil change. We kind of put it through a little bit of work there.
Yes, me.
Yep. And so, yeah, he's doing really good. Like, it's really fun to watch him play, because it's like, this is kind of what I was like when I was a little kid. You know what I mean?
I was a little kid when I was younger, Daddy.
You were definitely a little kid when you were a little kid. So that's definitely good.
Because if I'm not kid, then we'll be able to be playing.
Okay. Sounds good, dude.
So people get to drive, then people get always to be driving.
Oh yeah? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, because I want to film, but I want to film with that.
Okay. All right, buddy. Well, here's the thing. We're gonna stop right here. Okay. I know it's a little early in the episode, but you need to go take a nap, little man. But do you want to film with me later, maybe?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I want to film with that.
Oh, you do, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Well, this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna save right here. When we come back on the next episode of Let's Play Gran Turismo 3: The Ultimate Driving Simulator, either A, you'll be in here, or 2, you'll be still asleep probably, because you need to go take a nap, buddy, now that you're done with your lunch.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I still want to eat.
You still want to eat? Oh, okay. Well, then let's go get you some more food. That sound good?
Prince just took the last orange.
He took the last orange? Well, how rude. Well, then let's go get you some goldfish. Does that sound good?
Nah.
You don't want any goldfish?
I wanted the last orange and then Prince.
You want another orange?
Yep.
Okay, I'll go get him another orange. All right, guys. Well, thanks for stopping by, and yeah, we're gonna play some more of this. I gotta do the last race in that little cup challenge, and we'll get our prize from it, and we'll move on to the next one. So until then, my friends, this is your host, Lovely Cheese Pizza, and Harrison. You want to come and wave? Wave up at the camera and say bye.
Bye.
We'll see you next time, guys. Take care and have a good one. Bye.